Welcome to episode 24 of What If Civilization Started Over. Last episode we saw formations of many new countries in Europe and Northern Africa. We saw sea green popping up, bronze, butter and dark magenta. And today we will see what will happen in Europe and most importantly the new parts of dark pink, pink and neon lime. Last time we had the formation of this very important enclave for the pink, society, their civilization, their country. But we see a very interesting thing popping up in this country. Their provinces here to the east are not really happy with, the government that's leading their country, because they are mostly focusing on the most European side, the western side of their country. But the government, the king in this case, is really focusing on the west instead of the east. So we have a few provinces that want to break away and start their own country. They feel like they are ignored, and the only new thing that the pink king is, taking care of is this enclave province. And yes, the province map is not really updated yet, but it will be very soon. Excuse me for that. The cities that are most felt forgotten are these two southern ones. This one and this one. There's also this one that feels really bad at they are not really being maintained by the king, or they're not really getting funded by anything. So these three settlements are going to rebel. And now we see three red dots on the map, the three settlements that are rebelling against their king. And they take over the area they really want to have. All the settlements. These two link up and they, stop and they take all what there is at the border, this one as well. As we see them taking a lot of a province that they are bordering in, and this one as well. They take their province as their own. And this southern settlement takes over this province with one that's not really rebelling yet. But their idea is spreading faster than the pink king can manage and expect it. More and more areas are breaking away. And the pink king is not really a hostile one. The most hostile kings were in the south, where civilization began in our world. But here, the pinks and the greens are really, peaceful towards their people. But when this happens, they don't really know what to do. And the last time that this happened, here with the neon lime country, they just let it happen. But the pink is not really happy with that. They want to keep their land to the, east. But they aren't really maintaining it, so why would you even want to keep it? Well, this part is really valuable to them. Why? Most civilians don't know. But it doesn't take long before the rebellion gets too much land in their hands. But now the king's not really happy with it anymore. So they are trying to get a hold of this first province again. It's harder than it looks, because people from, the team itself are fighting and not really fighting, but protesting against the government. And they hold the army, the troops, back for a pretty good amount. Before this settlement, this one is in favor of the king, also tries to get this back, this settlement, this province. And in the south as well. And there they lose a province, as the pinks took it over again. But the rebellion is not stupid, and they get rid of the troops in the north. They don't really fight, because, if the pink king knows if he fights, rough, then he is, turning on its own people. Although they are rebelling, the pink king is not really against protesting that much, but this is getting a little bit out of hand. And more settlements here in the east are seeing what is happening. And we see many settlements break away here in the east. And this is worrying for the king, because if he loses everything to the east, there is no way to get troops from there to fight, behind the rebel group, as the rebel group is now behind them as well. we see a large formation appear in the east of the country, and the king is now really well worried that he loses even more if he doesn't cooperate and make a peace treaty with the eastern side of his country. But before he actually wants to do that, he wants to get this province back with these two settlements back in his hands. So they try to fight back, and they are able to, well, get all this land back because this settlement is still fighting back. But then something happened that the king not really saw coming. Two settlements, well, from the south of his capital are also breaking away as they don't like what is happening in the east. And they are fast to spread the word and the ideas to, well, separate from this pink king. As this, well, three province pact are totally against the ways of the king. But slowly they link up with the northern one and they are all agreeing on something together. The king is doing something that we don't want to happen. And slowly but surely more provinces here are also taking a part of this rebellion. As the king used a lot of his troops east and not south, he wants to fight back in the south as well, but he quickly lost. And then he just realized, well, let's get to the table and talk to each other. What is going to happen with my country? Something that they were agreeing on really fast is that the southernmost provinces really did this because of a protest against the king for handling the eastern problem too harsh, too rough. So they are agreeing on joining back with the pink team. The eastern people though are not really in favor of that. And although they still have this settlement as they're most loyal to the king, the rest here, the three here, are also really beginning to doubt the king and the provinces with no major cities as well. And the rebel group is winning more land, even more every week, as more provinces join this rebel group to separate from the pink team. And before they know it, there's an agreement. The provinces that want to break away and join the rebel group are free to do so, but the pink team really wants to keep this enclave, as the people there are not really sad about what the pink team is doing. They're also really getting help from the neon lime and the dark pink team, and also directly from the capital. And these settlements were just forgotten, these provinces too. And so we see three more provinces break away and join this rebel group. This one in the north, this middle one, and this southern one. And with that we see a very interesting country forming here in Russia, as the pink team now has to manage three countries, not directly that they are bordering it, they have three enclaves from left to right. They're not really, one group anymore. And this is going to be a hard thing in the future, but now these three countries still belong to the pink team. But let's see where their capital will be for Royal Yellow. It will be right here on the border almost with green. Now we'll take a look at a country next to, Royal Yellow, Neon Lime. Neon Lime recently got a new province or just a new part of land to the north, but the people are wanting to break away as they really don't like to be such a long country, and they have to venture really far, and they're beginning to be really different as this really cold weather up here, and here to the south it's pretty warm. It's really a long country. As the Neon Lime country was looking at what happened with the pink team, he doesn't really want, something that will happen as the same in his country, so he will let it slide and let this country break away. This country is Deep Wine, and it will border Neon Lime up to the Northern Sea. As this country is really wanting to venture more towards the unknown land here in Siberia, Neon Lime, they learned their lesson to really stay more, to their axis, more go to the east and not really north or south. Well, they are south really blocked by purple anyways. And their capital of deep wine will be, realistically, this southern one. And now it's a great time to take a look at Africa, as people are slowly expanding and claiming more land, well, more inlandwards, more inwards. And dark magenta especially, their people really want to venture more southward and find new land. It's mostly desert, but well, you have rather desert than suddenly that there will be a country southward of you that you cannot really expand anymore. As now this country will just expand more to the south at different parts of their country, but they mostly want to do it, well, evenly. But there's another country joining this idea, and no, it's not the red team, for now. It's Rosewood, as they also really want to get more land out of this, as they, well, wanted to get more land from the War of Lavender, but that really failed. And they are, well, scared of losing this part of Mesopotamia, but they really want to, well, still have it for the future. And so Rosewood will expand their borders greatly too. And with greatly, I mean greatly. They are, well, maybe even doubling their, well, almost doubling their land size. But also gaining a little bit more land before Dark Magenta gets that part. They were, well, they really wanted that. But in the meantime, of course, Dark Magenta didn't stop too, as 2 expeditions led to interesting parts they wanted to claim. But rather quickly they got even more, and got even more, and got even more, and now they had to stop because, well, they don't really have much settlements yet, they have to grow. But when they got this part, Red got woken up from their, well, mission to the south. As they now also want to expand more in their mainland. They quickly have a mission right here before they even get blocked from Dark Magenta, because that happened before with another Pacific country nearby, as they are now thickening their border against the Atlantic Ocean here in Africa, as they want to, well, be much bigger than what they are now. And there were 3 expeditions at the same time, and those slowly linked up. They gain more land against Dark Yellow, and Dark Yellow is not really happy because of that, because they are, well, being blocked now. And what happened with Red, well, a long time ago, they were getting blocked, so they were like, why are you doing the same to me now, almost? And at the same time, Dark Orange just took apart. They didn't really knew Red was doing the same, and because of that, well, you can guess what will happen. Dark Yellow does the same. And it's beginning to look like a claim war. Which country can get which land before anyone else does that? As Red is also beginning to focus more on the south before, well, the others do it. They thicken their border, and now Red is becoming, well, really big. But before they stop, they want even more. And they cut even more. And even more. And now Red is expanding, well, massively in the south and in, well, Africa as well, because they are, well, closely getting interested here in this part of Africa. And we will see, well, next episode as well, how these countries will form even more and how they will eventually claim the whole continent. But we have a few others to look at as well. Because Beige, after a war, well, a great one, they finally want to expand again. Not by much, but enough. And although Lavender is the largest country in the world, they are not tired yet, as they are also claiming much more land. Not even in Africa, in Asia as well, and they are starting to be maybe a little bit too big, as they are expanding every direction. Not really the Himalayas yet, they are closely to it and even, well, in it, but they're not really in favor of going to the north. They want to mock other countries in their nearby areas to block them, and they are trying to block Purple for going even more east and going even more north for Mint, And well, doing the same for, well, Rosewood, and even maybe a little bit Beige, because, well, they feel like the relationship with Beige is sort of, well, dying down a little bit after the war. They don't really speak to one another anymore. So, well, maybe there is something happening as well. As maybe this was a little bit of a shorter episode, a lot of things happen, and in between episodes I will update every layer that needs to be updated, so we have a fresh start for the next one. In the next episode we will take a look at what will happen with the empires to the east. As Slade also got to expand, but we will look at that next episode. But we'll also take a look at what Red is planning on doing in Madagascar, because no, they did not forget their plan with Lavender.